history has often reserved its most intriguing narratives for figures who defied conventions and left an indelible mark on their times. One such figure is Hurrem Sultan, whose life story reads like a tale of ambition, love, and power intertwined with the grandeur of the Ottoman Empire. Born far from the gilded halls of Topkapi Palace, Hurrem's journey from a captive girl to one of the most influential women in Ottoman history is nothing short of extraordinary. Revered by some as a cunning strategist and criticized by others as a manipulative force, she remains a subject of fascination centuries later. Hurrem Sultan, also known as Roxolana in Europe, was not born into royalty. Her origins trace back to Ruthenia, a region in modern-day Ukraine, where she was captured during a raid and enslaved. As fate would have it, she found herself in the Ottoman imperial harem, a world dominated by hierarchy and fierce competition. But unlike most women who entered the harem, Hurrem was not content with merely existing in the shadows. Her sharp intellect, charm, and resilience set her apart, qualities that would eventually captivate Sultan Suleiman the Magnificent, one of the most powerful rulers of his time. Her unprecedented rise from a concubine to Suleiman's legal wife challenged centuries-old traditions of the Ottoman court. Unlike his predecessors, Suleiman broke with custom by marrying Hurrem, a decision that shocked the empire. This act elevated her status, granting her unparalleled influence over court politics and state affairs. It was not merely her beauty that held Suleiman's attention, but her wit, political acumen, and ability to engage with him on intellectual and emotional levels. In Hurrem, Suleiman found not just a consort but a trusted confidant and advisor. Hurrem's influence extended far beyond her role as Suleiman's wife. She was a political force in her own right, shaping the policies and alliances of the empire. Her involvement in state matters marked the beginning of what historians call the Sultanate of Women, a period during which women of the harem wielded significant power in Ottoman governance. This was a revolutionary shift in a male-dominated society, and Hurrem was at the forefront of this change. Her political maneuvers, while often controversial, demonstrated her strategic mind and her ability to navigate the complexities of imperial power. To her supporters, Hurrem was a visionary who used her position to benefit the empire and the people. She initiated numerous charitable projects, including the construction of mosques, hospitals, and schools, leaving a tangible legacy that endures to this day. However, her critics have painted her as a scheming manipulator, accusing her of orchestrating the downfall of rivals and even influencing Suleiman's decision to execute his own son, Prince Mustafa. Hurrem Sultan remains a figure of endless intrigue. Her life raises questions about power, influence, and the role of women in history. Was she a heroine who shattered barriers or a villain who disrupted the natural order? Perhaps the truth lies somewhere in between. What is undeniable, however, is that Hurrem's story continues to captivate and inspire, a testament to her extraordinary life and the impact she had on the Ottoman Empire. Hurrem Sultan's extraordinary journey began in an unlikely setting, a small town in Ruthenia, heart of present-day Ukraine. Born as Alexandra or Anastasia Lizowska, she grew up far removed from the grandeur of the Ottoman Empire. The daughter of a priest, her early life was one of simplicity, deeply rooted in the traditions and faith of her community. Little did anyone know that this unassuming girl would rise to become one of the most powerful women in Ottoman history. Fate took a sharp turn when Hurrem was captured during a Tatar raid, a common occurrence in the volatile regions bordering the Ottoman Empire. Torn from her family and homeland, she was sold into slavery, a grim reality for many during that era. Her captors transported her to the bustling slave markets of Istanbul, where her destiny intersected with the grandeur of the Ottoman court. It was here, in the imperial harem, that the young girl began her transformation into Hurrem Sultan, a name synonymous with both charm and controversy. The imperial harem was no ordinary place. It was a world unto itself, filled with politics, ambition, and rigid hierarchies. It housed hundreds of women, each vying for the sultan's attention and favor. As a newcomer, Hurrem faced immense challenges. Yet, her resilience and unique personality set her apart. While most women in the harem sought to survive, Hurrem sought to thrive. Her laughter, often noted as a rare quality in the otherwise solemn atmosphere of the harem, earned her the name, Hurrem, meaning, the cheerful one. Her wit and intelligence quickly caught the attention of Sultan Suleiman. Unlike many others who relied solely on their beauty to gain favor, Hurrem possessed a sharp mind and a captivating spirit. She engaged Suleiman in meaningful conversations, displaying a depth of understanding and a keen interest in matters beyond the harem. Suleiman, known for his appreciation of intellect and art, found in Hurrem a kindred spirit who could match his thoughts and ambitions. Hurrem's ascent was meteoric, but it was not without opposition. Breaking centuries-old tradition, Suleiman chose to take Hurrem as his legal wife, an unprecedented move in Ottoman history. This decision shocked the court and the empire, as sultans traditionally refrained from marrying their concubines to maintain political alliances through marital ties. By marrying Hurrem, Suleiman defied norms, prioritizing personal affection over political convenience. This act not only elevated Hurrem's status but also shifted the dynamics of power within the harem. The transition from concubine to consort brought its own set of challenges. Hurrem had to navigate the intricate web of palace politics, where alliances shifted like sand, and rivals emerged at every turn. Her position as Suleiman's favorite made her a target for jealousy and intrigue. Yet, Hurrem displayed remarkable resilience, using her newfound influence to secure her position and protect her children's future. She understood that in the world of the harem, survival required both charm and cunning. Hurrem's transformation from a captive girl to the legal wife of one of the most powerful rulers of the world was nothing short of extraordinary. It was not merely a story of personal ambition but also one of adaptation and resilience. She embraced her new identity, shedding her past while using its lessons to forge a future filled with unprecedented power and influence. Her journey to the top was not just about Suleiman's favor, it was about her ability to navigate the complexities of her environment with unmatched skill and determination. This early chapter of Hurrem's life is a testament to her indomitable spirit. From the quiet landscapes of Ruthenia to the opulent halls of Topkapi Palace, her rise was a combination of fate, intelligence, and an unyielding desire to rise above her circumstances. It set the stage for her eventual role as a queen, a mother, and a political force who would leave an indelible mark on Ottoman history. Hurrem Sultan's extraordinary rise within the Ottoman Empire was deeply intertwined with her unique ability to captivate Sultan Suleiman. Winning the heart of the most powerful man of her time was no small feat, especially in the highly competitive environment of the imperial harem. Unlike other women, Hurrem didn't rely solely on her beauty. Her intelligence, wit, and strategic acumen set her apart, creating a bond with Suleiman that transcended the superficial dynamics of the harem. The Ottoman harem was a world governed by strict rules and traditions, where women were expected to conform to their roles as concubines and mothers of potential heirs. Yet Hurrem's approach was unconventional. She was not content with simply catching the Sultan's eye, she sought to win his mind and soul. In conversations, she demonstrated a rare intellect, discussing poetry, politics, and philosophy with a depth that intrigued Suleiman. Her ability to engage in meaningful dialogue made her more than just a companion, she became his confidant. Hurrem's cheerful demeanor was another key factor that endeared her to Suleiman. Amid the weight of imperial responsibilities and the somber atmosphere of palace life, her laughter brought a sense of lightness. She earned her name, Hurrem, meaning, the joyful one, through her infectious spirit. This unique quality not only distinguished her from the other women in the harem but also offered Suleiman a source of comfort and inspiration. Her relationship with Suleiman flourished further through her deep understanding of his interests. Suleiman was a poet at heart, often composing verses under the pen name, Muhibi. Hurrem encouraged his artistic pursuits, offering thoughtful insights into his work and even inspiring some of his most poignant poetry. She became the muse for many of his writings, reflecting the depth of their emotional connection. These poetic exchanges solidified their bond, as Suleiman began to view Hurrem not just as a consort but as an equal partner in both love and intellect. However, Hurrem's rise to Suleiman's favorite was not without its challenges. Rivalry was intense within the harem, and her increasing influence drew resentment from others, particularly Mahidevran, Suleiman's first concubine and the mother of his eldest son, Mustafa. Mahidevran had long enjoyed a favored position, but Hurrem's arrival disrupted the delicate balance of power. Hurrem's ability to navigate these tensions showcased her strategic thinking. Rather than confront Mahidevran openly, she focused on strengthening her relationship with Suleiman, ensuring her place in his life and heart. The most defining moment in their relationship came when Suleiman made the unprecedented decision to marry Hurrem. Traditionally, Ottoman sultans refrained from marrying their concubines to avoid political entanglements and maintain flexibility in alliances. By making Hurrem his legal wife, Suleiman defied centuries of custom, signaling the depth of his affection and trust. This act not only elevated Hurrem's status but also reshaped the dynamics of the Ottoman court, as she became the first Haseki Sultan, chief consort, in Ottoman history. Hurrem's marriage to Suleiman was more than a personal victory, it was a testament to her extraordinary influence. The move shocked the Ottoman elite and foreign courts alike, as they struggled to understand how a former slave had risen to such prominence. For Suleiman, however, the decision was clear. Hurrem was not merely a concubine, she was his partner, someone who understood his vision and supported his aspirations. Beyond the personal bond, Hurrem's influence extended into matters of state. As Suleiman's confidant, she provided counsel on critical issues, displaying a keen understanding of politics and diplomacy. While some viewed her involvement as overreach, Suleiman valued her insights, often relying on her judgment. This dynamic further solidified her position, ensuring that her role went beyond the traditional confines of the harem. Hurrem's journey to winning Suleiman's heart was a combination of charm, intellect, and resilience. She did not merely adapt to her circumstances, she redefined them, creating a unique relationship that blended love, partnership, and mutual respect. Their bond was a rare phenomenon in the annals of Ottoman history, highlighting the profound impact of a single individual on one of the world's most powerful empires. Through her unwavering determination and strategic brilliance, Hurrem carved out a place for herself not just in Suleiman's heart but also in the history of the Ottoman Empire. Her ability to connect with Suleiman on multiple levels, emotional, intellectual, and political, ensured that her influence would endure, making her one of the most iconic figures of the era. This chapter of her life laid the foundation for her later role as a powerful political player and mother, solidifying her legacy as a woman who defied expectations and reshaped history. Hurrem Sultan's influence extended far beyond the walls of the imperial harem, reaching the very core of the Ottoman Empire's political machinery. As the wife of Sultan Suleiman, her unprecedented role transformed the way women were perceived and positioned within the empire's governance. Hurrem's political acumen and strategic interventions made her a formidable figure, shaping policies and decisions that had a lasting impact on Ottoman history. Traditionally, women of the harem were confined to domestic roles, their influence limited to personal interactions with the Sultan. Hurrem, however, broke these conventions by becoming an active participant in political matters. Her unique relationship with Suleiman, built on trust and mutual respect, allowed her to transcend the typical boundaries of the harem. She leveraged her proximity to the Sultan to advocate for policies and individuals she believed would strengthen the empire. One of Hurrem's most significant contributions was her involvement in diplomatic affairs. She maintained correspondence with foreign rulers and dignitaries, a practice that was highly unusual for a woman of her position. Letters from Hurrem to rulers such as Sigismund II of Poland reflect her diplomatic skill and understanding of international relations. Her ability to present herself as an articulate and thoughtful representative of the Ottoman court helped to enhance the empire's image abroad. Hurrem's influence was also evident in her support for key political allies, particularly Grand Vizier Rustem Pasha. Recognizing his loyalty and competence, Hurrem championed his appointment as vizier, ensuring that her political vision was implemented effectively. Rustem's rise to power was instrumental in advancing Hurrem's agenda, as the two worked closely to maintain stability and address internal challenges. Critics accused her of manipulating Suleiman to secure Rustem's position, but her actions reflected a deep understanding of the political landscape and the need for capable leadership. However, Hurrem's political involvement was not without controversy. Her growing influence drew criticism from both the Ottoman elite and foreign observers, who viewed her as overstepping traditional boundaries. Some accused her of orchestrating the downfall of rivals, including Suleiman's son, Mustafa, and his former concubine, Mahidevran. These allegations, while contested, highlight the polarizing nature of her role in the empire's politics. The execution of Prince Mustafa remains one of the most debated episodes linked to Hurrem's influence. As Suleiman's eldest and most capable son, Mustafa was widely regarded as the ideal successor. However, his growing popularity and the loyalty he commanded among the military made him a potential threat to Suleiman's authority. Hurrem, concerned about the implications for her own sons, is believed to have played a role in convincing Suleiman of Mustafa's disloyalty. While some historians argue that Hurrem's actions were driven by maternal instincts and a desire to secure the future of her children, others view them as calculated political maneuvers. Regardless of the motives, Mustafa's execution marked a turning point in Ottoman history, weakening the empire's leadership and fueling internal divisions. The incident underscores the complexity of Hurrem's political influence, as her decisions had far-reaching consequences for the empire. Hurrem's legacy also includes her philanthropic contributions, which were deeply intertwined with her political vision. She established numerous charitable foundations, including mosques, schools, and hospitals, demonstrating her commitment to the welfare of the empire's citizens. These projects not only enhanced her reputation but also reinforced the legitimacy of Suleiman's rule, showcasing the Ottoman Empire as a center of Islamic culture and benevolence. The construction of the Haseki Sultan complex in Istanbul stands as a testament to Hurrem's vision and influence. This sprawling complex, which included a mosque, a hospital, and a soup kitchen, reflected her understanding of the social and economic needs of the empire. By addressing these needs, Hurrem strengthened the bond between the ruling elite and the populace, ensuring greater stability and support for Suleiman's reign. Another significant aspect of Hurrem's political influence was her role in shaping succession planning. Unlike previous sultans, Suleiman broke tradition by remaining loyal to one consort, elevating Hurrem to an unparalleled position of power. This exclusivity allowed her to advocate for her sons as potential successors, a move that had lasting implications for the empire's governance. Her ability to navigate the complexities of succession politics highlights her strategic brilliance and determination to secure her family's legacy. Despite the controversies surrounding her actions, Hurrem's political influence had a profound impact on the Ottoman Empire. She redefined the role of women in governance, demonstrating that they could be active participants in shaping the future of the state. Her involvement in political affairs, while unconventional, reflected her deep commitment to the empire's prosperity and stability. Hurrem Sultan's legacy as a political figure is both complex and enduring. Her actions, whether driven by personal ambition, loyalty to Suleiman, or a genuine desire to strengthen the empire, reshaped the dynamics of Ottoman politics. She remains a symbol of the potential for women to influence history, even in societies with rigid hierarchical structures. Through her intelligence, determination, and vision, Hurrem transcended the limitations of her time, leaving an indelible mark on the Ottoman Empire. Her political influence, though controversial, was instrumental in shaping the course of the empire's history, demonstrating the power of a single individual to effect change on a monumental scale. Hurrem Sultan's rise marked a transformative era in the history of the Ottoman harem. Traditionally perceived as a secluded and passive institution, the harem was reshaped during Hurrem's time into a dynamic center of influence. Her unprecedented role challenged conventions, turning the harem into a place of strategic importance, where decisions affecting the empire were quietly orchestrated. The Ottoman harem was not merely a collection of the sultan's wives and concubines, it was a structured and hierarchical system with its own rules and politics. At its helm was the Valide Sultan, the mother of the reigning sultan, who held significant power and commanded respect within the palace. Hurrem, as Sultan Suleiman's favored consort and later his legal wife, disrupted this structure by claiming a unique position of authority, even while the Valide Sultan was alive. Her influence began with her extraordinary relationship with Suleiman. Hurrem was not just a consort, she was a confidant and advisor, sharing an intellectual bond with the Sultan. This relationship granted her access to the political sphere in ways that no woman before her had enjoyed. Suleiman's decision to marry her, a significant departure from Ottoman tradition, was a testament to her exceptional position. This marriage not only elevated Hurrem's status but also legitimized her authority within the palace and beyond. One of Hurrem's most notable contributions was her role in redefining the harem's purpose. She understood that the harem was not merely a space of domesticity but a political microcosm where alliances were formed and rivalries played out. Using her intelligence and charm, Hurrem maneuvered through this intricate web to secure her position and protect her interests. She cultivated relationships with key figures in the court, ensuring that her influence extended beyond the walls of the harem. A defining aspect of Hurrem's power was her ability to challenge and ultimately diminish the influence of Mahidevran Sultan, Suleiman's first consort and the mother of Prince Mustafa. The rivalry between Hurrem and Mahidevran became a defining feature of harem politics during Suleiman's reign. While Mahidevran represented the traditional role of a consort, Hurrem embodied a new model of active engagement in the political and strategic affairs of the empire. Hurrem's control over the harem was further solidified through her strategic involvement in succession politics. She was acutely aware that the future of her sons depended on the elimination of rivals, particularly Prince Mustafa, who was Suleiman's eldest and most promising heir. Though controversial, her influence in Mustafa's downfall showcased her ability to navigate the high-stakes game of power within the Ottoman court. Her political acumen extended to her ability to manage relationships within the palace. Hurrem maintained a delicate balance between asserting her authority and fostering alliances. She understood that her power relied not just on her relationship with Suleiman but also on the loyalty and support of key figures in the harem and the court. Her ability to build and maintain these alliances was instrumental in her rise and sustained influence. Beyond her personal ambitions, Hurrem's presence in the harem ushered in a new era of visibility and agency for women in the Ottoman Empire. Her active involvement in political and social matters challenged the traditional notion of women's roles within the empire. She demonstrated that women could be powerful actors in governance, shaping policies and decisions that affected the empire's future. Hurrem's philanthropic initiatives further illustrate her innovative approach to power. She used her influence to advocate for charitable projects, including the construction of mosques, schools, and hospitals. These endeavors not only elevated her reputation but also reflected a broader vision of the harem as a space of societal engagement. By aligning herself with projects that benefited the empire, Hurrem reinforced her legitimacy and showcased the potential for women to contribute to public life. However, Hurrem's rise also attracted criticism and opposition. Her unprecedented influence challenged the traditional power dynamics within the court, leading to resistance from those who viewed her as an outsider and a disruptor. The court was rife with rumors and accusations, with critics attributing many of Suleiman's controversial decisions to Hurrem's manipulation. These narratives, while reflective of the patriarchal biases of the time, highlight the extent of her impact on Ottoman politics. The harem under Hurrem's influence became a model for future generations of Ottoman women. Her example inspired subsequent Valide sultans and consorts to assert their agency and engage in the political and social spheres of the empire. This shift in the role of the harem had a profound and lasting impact on the Ottoman court, redefining the relationship between women and power in the empire. Hurrem's legacy in the harem is a testament to her intelligence, resilience, and vision. She transformed the harem from a secluded space into a center of influence, demonstrating that power could be wielded in unconventional ways. Her ability to navigate the complexities of court politics and leverage her position to effect meaningful change set a precedent for women in the Ottoman Empire. Through her actions, Hurrem redefined what it meant to be a woman in power. Her influence in the harem not only shaped the course of Suleiman's reign but also left an indelible mark on Ottoman history. Her story is a powerful reminder of the potential for individuals to challenge and reshape the structures of their time, leaving a legacy that transcends their circumstances. Hurrem Sultan's alliance with Rustem Pasha, one of the most astute and ambitious figures in the Ottoman Empire, became a cornerstone of her political strategy. Rustem, who rose to the influential position of Grand Vizier, shared a mutually beneficial relationship with Hurrem that significantly shaped the power dynamics of the court. Their collaboration was rooted in loyalty, political ambition, and a shared vision of securing the future of the empire under the leadership of Hurrem's sons. Rustem Pasha's rise to prominence was no accident. A man of humble origins, he had proven his capabilities in administrative and military roles, catching the attention of Sultan Suleiman. However, it was his marriage to Hurrem Sultan, Hurrem's daughter, that cemented his place in the upper echelons of Ottoman power. Hurrem's role in orchestrating this union demonstrated her foresight and strategic thinking. By aligning her family with Rustem, she gained a powerful ally who could navigate the complexities of court politics on her behalf. Hurrem recognized Rustem's cunning and pragmatic approach to governance, qualities that made him an effective Grand Vizier. She trusted him to carry out her plans and protect her interests in the highly competitive environment of the Ottoman court. This partnership was particularly crucial in the turbulent period of succession politics. With rivals like Prince Mustafa posing a significant threat to the future of her sons, Hurrem needed loyal allies who could execute her strategies without question. One of the most controversial episodes of their alliance was Rustem's involvement in the downfall of Prince Mustafa. As Suleiman's eldest and most capable son, Mustafa was a natural heir to the throne, but his ascension posed a direct threat to Hurrem's children. Hurrem and Rustem worked in tandem to convince Suleiman that Mustafa harbored ambitions of overthrowing him. Using carefully orchestrated rumors and evidence, they painted Mustafa as a rebellious figure conspiring with the empire's enemies. While some historians view Rustem as merely a tool in Hurrem's plans, others argue that he had his own motivations for eliminating Mustafa. As Grand Vizier, Rustem's power was intrinsically linked to the stability of the empire and his alliance with Hurrem. Mustafa's potential rise to power threatened not only Hurrem's position but also Rustem's own influence. By siding with Hurrem, Rustem ensured that his political future remained secure under the rule of Hurrem's sons. Despite his loyalty to Hurrem, Rustem's role in Mustafa's execution earned him widespread criticism. Many in the empire viewed him as a manipulative and self-serving figure who prioritized personal ambition over the well-being of the state. These perceptions, however, overlooked the complex and perilous nature of Ottoman politics, where survival often required calculated decisions and alliances. Hurrem's relationship with Rustem was not without its challenges. The political intrigues and power struggles of the court created an environment of constant tension and suspicion. While their partnership was built on trust and shared goals, both Hurrem and Rustem had to remain vigilant against the shifting loyalties and ambitions of others in the court. This precarious balance required careful negotiation and mutual understanding, qualities that both Hurrem and Rustem possessed in abundance. Rustem's tenure as Grand Vizier also highlighted the dynamics of Hurrem's influence. While she was often the architect of political strategies, Rustem was the one who implemented them, navigating the complexities of governance and diplomacy. This division of roles allowed Hurrem to maintain her position as a behind-the-scenes power broker, while Rustem bore the brunt of public scrutiny and criticism. Their collaboration extended beyond political machinations to matters of state administration. Rustem's reforms in taxation and infrastructure reflected the shared vision of a stable and prosperous empire. Hurrem's support for these initiatives demonstrated her commitment to the long-term success of the Ottoman state, even as she pursued her personal goals. The relationship between Hurrem and Rustem Pasha was emblematic of the new power dynamics in the Ottoman Empire during Suleiman's reign. Their partnership blurred the lines between traditional roles, with Hurrem stepping into a more active political role and Rustem serving as both a loyal servant of the Sultan and a key ally of the Sultan's consort. This shift in power dynamics redefined the nature of leadership and governance in the empire, leaving a lasting impact on its history. Through their alliance, Hurrem and Rustem exemplified the potential for strategic partnerships to shape the course of history. While their actions remain the subject of debate, their ability to navigate the complexities of Ottoman politics and advance their shared vision underscores their intelligence, resilience, and adaptability. Their legacy is a testament to the intricate and multifaceted nature of power, where alliances and loyalty play as crucial a role as ambition and strategy. The execution of Prince Mustafa remains one of the most tragic and debated events in Ottoman history, and Hurrem Sultan's involvement in this episode has been the subject of intense scrutiny. As the mother of Sultan Suleiman's younger sons, her motivations were deeply entwined with ensuring their survival and securing their place in the Ottoman succession. This, combined with the high-stakes politics of the court, made her a central figure in the events leading up to Mustafa's execution. Prince Mustafa, the eldest son of Suleiman, was a strong contender for the throne. His military prowess, charisma, and popularity among the janissaries and provincial governors made him a natural successor in the eyes of many. However, these very qualities posed a threat to Hurrem Sultan, who feared that Mustafa's ascension would spell doom for her children. In the Ottoman tradition, rival claimants to the throne were often executed to prevent civil war. Hurrem understood that if Mustafa became sultan, her sons, and potentially even she, might face certain death. Hurrem's influence over Sultan Suleiman was significant, cultivated over decades of companionship and political maneuvering. Historians argue that she used her close relationship with the Sultan to plant seeds of doubt about Mustafa's loyalty. Hurrem, along with her ally Rustem Pasha, began crafting a narrative that portrayed Mustafa as a potential usurper conspiring with the empire's enemies. This narrative relied on fabricated evidence, strategic rumors, and carefully timed reports, all designed to convince Suleiman that Mustafa was planning a rebellion against him. The political environment of the Ottoman court at the time amplified these suspicions. The empire faced external threats from the Safavids in the east and the Habsburgs in the west, making Suleiman particularly wary of disloyalty within his ranks. Hurrem and Rustem skillfully exploited this paranoia. Letters, allegedly written by Mustafa to the Shah of Persia, were presented as evidence of treachery. While the authenticity of these letters remains disputed, they played a crucial role in shaping Suleiman's perception of his son. Hurrem's actions were not merely the result of personal ambition, they were also a response to the harsh realities of Ottoman succession politics. The system of fratricide, though brutal, was seen as a necessary evil to maintain stability in the empire. Hurrem knew that Mustafa's supporters viewed her sons as obstacles to their preferred line of succession. By ensuring Mustafa's downfall, she was not only protecting her children but also attempting to solidify the future of the Ottoman Empire under a lineage she believed was best suited to rule. The culmination of Hurrem's efforts came during a campaign in the east. Mustafa, confident in his father's love and his own standing, entered Suleiman's tent unarmed to meet him. What awaited him was a trap. Suleiman, convinced of Mustafa's betrayal, had ordered his execution. Strangled by the Sultan's guards, Mustafa's death sent shockwaves throughout the empire. The Janissaries, who had long admired Mustafa, mourned his loss and expressed open discontent, signaling the far-reaching consequences of Suleiman's decision. Hurrem's role in this tragedy has been interpreted in various ways. Some view her as a Machiavellian figure who prioritized power and ambition above all else, manipulating events to eliminate a rival and secure her family's future. Others see her actions as a mother's desperate attempt to protect her children in an unforgiving political system. Hurrem's motivations, like the events themselves, were likely a complex mix of personal and political considerations. Suleiman's reaction to Mustafa's death provides further insight into Hurrem's influence. Though he had ordered the execution, the decision weighed heavily on the Sultan. Accounts from the time describe Suleiman's deep grief and isolation following the incident. Hurrem's ability to convince him of Mustafa's alleged betrayal speaks to the depth of her understanding of Suleiman's psyche and the trust he placed in her judgment. However, this trust came at a cost. The execution left an indelible stain on Suleiman's reign, tarnishing his legacy and sowing discord within the empire. The aftermath of Mustafa's death also underscores the broader implications of Hurrem's actions. With Mustafa gone, Hurrem's sons, particularly Selim and Bayezid, became the primary contenders for the throne. However, this did not bring an end to the power struggles. The rivalry between Selim and Bayezid led to further bloodshed, weakening the empire's internal cohesion. Some historians argue that Mustafa's survival might have provided a more stable transition of power, potentially averting the conflicts that followed. Hurrem's involvement in Mustafa's execution also had a profound impact on her own legacy. While she is celebrated for her intelligence, political acumen, and contributions to Ottoman culture, this episode has cast a shadow over her reputation. In the eyes of her detractors, it epitomizes the dangers of allowing women to wield significant influence in a patriarchal system. For her supporters, however, it demonstrates her ability to navigate the treacherous waters of Ottoman politics and secure her family's future against overwhelming odds. The execution of Prince Mustafa remains a cautionary tale about the complexities of power, loyalty, and survival in the Ottoman court. Hurrem Sultan's role in this episode highlights the fine line between ambition and necessity, and the heavy price of political decisions in a world where the stakes were often life and death. Her actions, whether viewed as calculated or compelled by circumstance, reshaped the course of Ottoman history and left a legacy that continues to captivate and divide historians to this day. Hurrem Sultan's legacy extends far beyond the palace intrigues and political machinations of the Ottoman court. As the first woman in Ottoman history to rise to such unprecedented power and influence, she utilized her position not only for political gain but also to leave an enduring mark through charitable works and contributions to Ottoman society. Her philanthropic initiatives demonstrated a profound understanding of her responsibilities as a leader and her desire to ensure the welfare of the empire's citizens. One of Hurrem's most notable contributions was her establishment of the Haseki Sultan complex in Istanbul. This architectural marvel included a mosque, a hospital, a primary school, a public kitchen, and a women's shelter. The complex reflected her deep concern for the welfare of the poor and marginalized. The public kitchen, for instance, provided free meals to the needy, becoming a lifeline for many during times of famine or economic hardship. The hospital offered medical care regardless of a person's social or economic status, a revolutionary concept at the time. Through this complex, Hurrem created a lasting institution that embodied the Islamic principles of charity and service. Her philanthropic efforts were not limited to Istanbul. Hurrem's influence extended to other parts of the empire, where she funded the construction of mosques, schools, and caravanserais to support travelers and pilgrims. Her projects often included fountains and water supply systems, addressing the critical need for clean water in both urban and rural areas. These works highlighted her awareness of the basic needs of the populace and her commitment to addressing them. Hurrem's charitable endeavors were deeply rooted in her faith. As a devout Muslim, she saw her wealth and power as a trust from Allah, to be used for the betterment of society. Her waqf endowments ensured that her charitable institutions would continue to serve future generations. These waqf were carefully designed to be self-sustaining, with revenues from properties and businesses funding their operations. This foresight ensured that her legacy would endure long after her death, and many of the institutions she established remained functional for centuries. In addition to her material contributions, Hurrem also supported intellectual and cultural endeavors. She patronized scholars, poets, and artists, fostering an environment where culture and knowledge could thrive. This support not only enriched Ottoman society but also reinforced the empire's reputation as a center of learning and innovation. Hurrem's patronage of the arts and literature helped preserve and promote the empire's rich cultural heritage, leaving an indelible mark on its identity. Hurrem's charitable works also served a political purpose, enhancing her image and solidifying her influence within the empire. By positioning herself as a benefactor of the poor and a patron of the arts, she countered criticism of her rise to power and demonstrated her commitment to the empire's well-being. These actions helped her secure the loyalty of the people and maintain her position in the face of opposition from traditionalists and court rivals. Despite her accomplishments, Hurrem's legacy has been subject to differing interpretations. Some view her charitable works as a sincere expression of her faith and compassion, while others see them as strategic moves to legitimize her unprecedented role in the empire. Both perspectives underscore her remarkable ability to navigate the complexities of Ottoman politics and society, using her influence to shape the empire in profound ways. Hurrem's legacy extends to her role as a pioneer for women in Ottoman history. Her ascent from a slave to the most powerful woman in the empire shattered traditional boundaries and set a precedent for future women of the court. While her methods and motivations remain a topic of debate, there is no denying her impact on the Ottoman dynasty. She paved the way for the Sultanate of Women, a period during which women wielded significant political and social influence. Her contributions to Ottoman society also highlight the multifaceted nature of her legacy. While she is often remembered for her role in court intrigues and the execution of Prince Mustafa, her charitable works reveal a different side of her character. They demonstrate her capacity for compassion, her commitment to her faith, and her understanding of the responsibilities that came with her position. Hurrem's ability to balance these aspects of her life speaks to her extraordinary intelligence, resourcefulness, and vision. Hurrem Sultan's life and legacy continue to captivate historians and the public alike. Her charitable works stand as a testament to her enduring impact on Ottoman society and serve as a reminder of the power of philanthropy to create lasting change. Through her contributions, she not only shaped the course of the empire but also left an example of how power and influence can be used for the greater good. Her story, with all its complexities, remains an integral part of Ottoman history, reflecting both the challenges and opportunities of leadership in one of history's greatest empires. As Hurrem Sultan aged, her influence over the Ottoman court and Sultan Suleiman began to shift. Though her power as a political advisor and confidant endured, the burdens of advancing age, court politics, and personal losses began to cast a shadow over her later years. The once vibrant and calculating woman who had played a pivotal role in shaping the empire now faced challenges that marked the decline of her era. Hurrem's health became a pressing concern during her later years. Chronic illnesses and the natural toll of aging reduced her active involvement in the day-to-day affairs of the court. Despite this, she remained an important figure in the empire. Her correspondence with Sultan Suleiman during his military campaigns reflects her enduring role as his emotional anchor. In these letters, Hurrem expressed her unwavering devotion to Suleiman and the empire, showing that her sharp intellect and political acumen remained intact even as her physical strength waned. Her later years were also marked by profound personal losses. The execution of Prince Mustafa, orchestrated with her indirect involvement, left deep scars on the empire and within her family. While the elimination of Mustafa solidified the position of her own sons as heirs to the throne, it also created a legacy of bitterness and unrest among the Ottoman elite and the common people, many of whom had admired Mustafa. Hurrem's role in the tragedy, whether direct or circumstantial, would continue to haunt her legacy. Hurrem also witnessed the growing rivalry among her own sons, particularly Selim and Bayezid, as they vied for the position of crown prince. This internal conflict was a source of great distress for her. Despite her efforts to maintain unity within the family, the struggle for power exposed the fractures within the Ottoman dynasty that would later contribute to its decline. Hurrem's position as a mother and a political figure placed her in an unenviable position, torn between maternal instincts and the harsh realities of imperial politics. Her relationship with Sultan Suleiman, while still strong, also underwent a transformation in her later years. Suleiman, burdened by the pressures of governance and the losses of close allies such as Ibrahim Pasha and Mustafa, became increasingly introspective and melancholic. The Sultan's poetry from this period reveals a man grappling with grief, mortality, and the responsibilities of power. Hurrem, who had once been his closest companion and advisor, now had to navigate this changing dynamic, providing comfort while also managing her own emotional struggles. The death of Hurrem Sultan in 1558 marked the end of an era in Ottoman history. Her passing left a void in Suleiman's life and the empire's court politics. Suleiman, deeply affected by her death, never married again. He ensured that she was honored with a grand mausoleum adjacent to his own future tomb in the Süleymaniye Mosque complex in Istanbul. This final resting place stands as a testament to their enduring bond and the profound influence Hurrem had on his life. Hurrem's death also had significant implications for the empire. With her absence, the delicate balance of power she had maintained within the court began to unravel. Her ability to mediate conflicts and influence Suleiman's decisions had been a stabilizing force, and her departure left the court vulnerable to new power struggles. The ensuing rivalry between her sons Selim and Bayezid escalated, leading to Bayezid's eventual defeat and execution, an event that further weakened the Ottoman dynasty. While her later years were marked by challenges and losses, Hurrem's legacy as a transformative figure in Ottoman history remains undisputed. She redefined the role of women in the empire, paving the way for the Sultanate of women and leaving behind a legacy of political astuteness, philanthropy, and cultural patronage. Despite the controversies surrounding her life, Hurrem's influence during her later years continued to shape the empire's trajectory, even as her own era came to a close. Hurrem Sultan's life and legacy remain some of the most debated in Ottoman history. As a woman who rose from captivity to become the beloved consort of Sultan Suleiman, she defied expectations and established herself as a formidable figure within the empire. While her actions, particularly her political machinations, were often seen as controversial, there is no doubt that her influence on both the Ottoman court and the broader empire was profound and lasting. Her role in the execution of Prince Mustafa remains a dark chapter, a decision that continues to polarize historians and scholars. Was it a necessary move to secure her sons' futures, or was it a tragic mistake driven by ambition? Hurrem's involvement in the execution, whether directly or indirectly, cast a long shadow over her legacy. Yet, it also highlights the perilous and often ruthless nature of court politics during her time, where even familial bonds could be shattered in the pursuit of power. Despite the controversy surrounding her political decisions, Hurrem's contributions to the empire cannot be overlooked. As a patron of the arts, architecture, and philanthropy, she was instrumental in shaping the cultural and charitable landscape of the Ottoman Empire. Her endowment of mosques, schools, and hospitals served as lasting monuments to her vision of a better, more prosperous empire. Her charitable works reflect the compassion and foresight that defined her, even as she navigated the tumultuous world of Ottoman politics. In her personal life, Hurrem was a devoted wife and mother. Her bond with Suleiman, despite the political challenges they faced, was one of deep affection and partnership. Their relationship was built on trust, mutual respect, and love, something that was rare in the power struggles of the Ottoman court. Hurrem's role as a mother, guiding her sons through the treacherous waters of succession, also left a lasting impact on the Ottoman imperial family. Yet, her efforts to ensure her sons' positions ultimately led to familial conflicts that plagued the empire for years to come. While Hurrem's legacy is undoubtedly controversial, she remains an unforgettable figure in Ottoman history. Her rise to power, her ability to shape the course of events within the court, and her lasting impact on the empire all attest to her unique position in history. Hurrem Sultan was not merely a figure of the harem, she was a woman of influence, intelligence, and ambition who played an indelible role in the shaping of the Ottoman Empire's golden age. Her life, filled with triumphs and tragedies, encapsulates the complexities of being a woman in power during a time when such roles were often reserved for men. Hurrem's story serves as a reminder of the often unseen forces that shape history, and her legacy continues to captivate and inspire people to this day.